welcome back to my channel. Today's look is a Lisa Frank inspired look. Her folders and notebooks, as a kid I used to get them all the time, and they inspired me to create this fun, colorful Halloween look today. I'm first starting out by taking a white eyeliner pencil, and I'm just going to start mapping out some areas on my face. The areas that I'm mapping out right now, I used the Leopard for a reference picture since that's what I'm going for today. So I'm mapping out the eyes and the lower part of the face, which is white. I want to map these out with a white eyeliner so I know not to go in with pink or orange or yellow face paint. These are strictly going to be white areas. I'm starting out by taking a white face paint and coloring in these areas that I just mapped out. Using white face paint, I realized it is very, very difficult to get it very opaque as I wanted it to. So this process took quite a while for me, and I actually kept going back and forth off of camera to get it to the intensity that I wanted it to be. So once I got the color built up to where I wanted it to be and how intense I wanted it to be, I did take a matte white eyeshadow and go over the face paint with that. This is going to help set it and make sure it doesn't move, and it also intensified it even more. With white, you can kind of, like I said, it's really hard to work with and to build it up. The eyeshadow just really helped give it that intensity overall. I am then going in with a pink face paint, and I haven't worked with face paint too much in my life, and I really want to start working with it more, so it was kind of difficult for me to kind of work with it at first, and I kind of picked up a few tips and tricks along the way. The first one is to make sure that your brush isn't soaking wet. With water activated face paints, obviously you have to dip your brush in water into the paint, and that's how it works. And it was really hard for me to find a balance between too wet, not wet enough. So just work with it and you'll figure it out. But I am doing layers. Layers is what created this look and made it as intense as it is. Just wait for the paint to dry in between coats and then go in with another coat. So again, I'm just using my reference picture and basically just painting my face exactly how that reference picture is. So these areas were pretty hot pink. So these are the areas that I am first starting out with. I was a little worried for the next step to bring in another color because I'm like, okay, how am I going to get these to blend? But it really wasn't as hard as I thought. And this is kind of where I really started to learn how to work with the paint. As you can see, this orange is going on much more intense than I got the pink to go on, and that's because, like I said, I learned throughout the process kind of how much water you need on your brush and how much paint, the ratio. So I'm going in and I'm filling in the rest of my face with this orange color. The next thing I was worried about is getting it to blend, which I thought I was going to have such a hard time with, but honestly it wasn't that hard. My first goal was to build up the intensity of the orange. I wanted it to get very opaque, and then I'm like, okay, then I will worry about blending the two together. First, let's get it nice and intense, intensify that color because I want it to be so vibrant, just like Lisa Frank's folders and notebooks. I didn't want it to just be kind of like watercolor. So here's kind of where I start to blend the two together. I ended up taking the other end of my brush and kind of blending where the two colors meet each other, just blending back and forth. Going back in with pink and orange to blend the lines out. Again, it's not perfect yet, but it will be later. So then the nose area is yellow. So I'm just kind of carving out the nose area, and again, layering, especially with lighter colors. You do have to do a few coats to get it to be pretty intense. And above the eyebrows was a little yellow too, so I just kind of went over where I put the orange and kind of just made a very light yellow shade above the eyebrows. I'm then going back in with pink because, like I said a million times already, I want this to be super vibrant. and the pink just wasn't doing it for me. So I did go in with a darker pink too, and I'm just kind of building up that color and then blending all of the colors together so there aren't any harsh lines. That's the key to this look, is building up the color, building up the intensity, and blending the two together throughout that process to get a smooth, seamless kind of transition between colors and to have it really pop. After this on camera too, I did just want to mention I also went over these areas with matte eyeshadows as well. So I took a very vibrant pink eyeshadow, an orange eyeshadow, and a yellow one and went over those areas to set it and to make the color more intense. Again, I'm sorry I didn't realize that I wasn't filming those parts, but once you got it all blended, you gotta set it to, I mean, you don't have to with face paint, but I like the effect that it gave. So I'm starting out to kind of make the cat eye, and this is going to be super intense, not your regular day-to-day winged eyeliner. I'm taking face paint for this, but you can definitely use liquid eyeliner or gel eyeliner, whatever you want, but I had face paint right in front of me, so I'm like, this is what I'm going to use. So I created a pretty dramatic wing on the end of the eye, and then I also created a wing on the inner corner and took that down my face just like the picture. And then I went back in and thickened up that wing to make it super dark and intense, just like the picture. I'm going in to draw the nose, and this is basically kind of like a heart shape. Just go in the middle of your nose, start the heart, and then fill it in with the black face paint. Again, with everything else, I think I did 2 layers with the black because the black is obviously a darker color, so it was already pretty opaque. And the biggest key to this is looking at your reference picture and just referencing that. So I did draw a line down to my lip with black face paint. I'm now going in with the eyebrows. This I kind of made up on my own. I think in the reference picture he doesn't have eyebrows, but I have eyebrows, so I just kind of wanted to make this part my own, and I went in with a purple face paint. It's really hard to tell on camera, but it was very vibrant in person, and I had purple eyebrows. Going in for the mouth, I extended my lips a little more, kind of where the two meet. I drew 2 lines going on the outer corners, and I am filling my lips in with black face paint for the lips, and I did overdraw my lips for this. This is the tedious part, and at first I was like, oh geez, this is going to take forever, but honestly once I got the hang of it, it did not take very long at all. I'm going in with black face paint. Again, for this you can even use eyeliner if you want, but like I said, I had face paint right in front of me. And basically, just draw random shapes on your face. You can look at the reference picture, but you don't have to draw the exact same shapes in the exact same spot as the picture. This was the fun part for me because I really got to be like, oh, I'm going to put this here and do this. And it was really tedious at first, and then once I got the hang of it, it went really fast. So just draw random shapes all over your face. And if you feel like there's like an empty spot, I went in and did little tiny polka dots just to kind of pull it all together. Again, looking at the reference picture, you can see some are smaller, some are bigger, some are more round, some are square. It's literally just shapes. So just do that. Again, face paint, eyeliner, whatever you choose. Down the sides of the nose, I just did really small, tiny polka dots along with where the whiskers would be. So on my upper lip, I didn't make shapes, I just did tiny polka dots. Again, a reference picture is your best friend. Going back to drawing some shapes on the face, I ended up realizing what made it faster for me was to draw shapes everywhere and then fill them in later. This really helped me look to see how it was going to look overall. see where I needed to put bigger shapes or where I needed some smaller ones. It kind of helped me map it out. So I would suggest doing this first. I didn't do it at the beginning, but it seriously made life so much easier, and it was easier to get an overall look to see how it was all going to turn out. After I had all the dots on my face, I threw on some mascara, and I wanted to make my eyes pop a little more, so I also threw on some fake lashes, and then I just curled my hair all crazy, and that is that. I put on a black turtleneck, and that is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching.